What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Snowball coming back at you with another awesome video. Today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of an experiment. Or not an experiment, I apologize. We're going to be doing a bit of a reaction video. I found this channel called Be Amazed. I am absolutely addicted to this channel. If you want to check them out, the link will be down below for you guys to check them out. I absolutely love their content, and like I said, I am addicted to their videos. This video is called World's Dumbest Criminals, so we're going to see how they rank them and everything, and at the end, we're going to rank them ourselves where we think they should have lied. So, enough chit-chat. Let's go ahead and jump up in it, shall we? Let's get it.
The law with your freedom intact, you need to be either smart, intimidating, or lucky. But some miscreants don't match any of those criteria. In fact, some criminals are so incredibly dumb that they end up doing the hard work for the police, making their arrest not only simple, but inevitable. From robbers who accidentally called the cops on themselves to California's Phantom Pooper. Let's explore some embarrassingly dumb people
Phantom Pooper.
who don't want their freedom. Comical criminality. When a Missouri comic book store had 3,000 comics stolen from a storage unit, the owner was devastated. He sent a message around asking local stores to notify him in the event that anyone attempted to cash in on them. You can imagine his surprise when they all showed up one day at his own store.
Wait, what? Pause that for a second. Okay, who collects comic books anymore? Like, I don't know anyone who collects them anymore. I don't know a single person who does. So, who collects them anymore? But turns it back up to his shop. Let's continue.
By the woman who stole them. The less than genius thief was attempting to sell the comics to the very store she had stolen them from, despite the boxes having the owner's details and signature. With the help of police, the criminal was caught, and the comics returned to their rightful owner.
Why would you go back to the source of where you stole them? What the fuck was she smoking? Like, she had to have been smoking something.
Failure of this level, perhaps they should have tried to steal a brain instead.
Yeah.
Don't blow it. Two Florida burglars probably thought they were very clever indeed when they had the bright idea to use a blowtorch to break into an ATM. But the reason welding gear isn't standard equipment for ATM robbers became very clear very quickly. Instead of providing access to the cash, the burning heat welded the ATM's hinges shut. The robbers left with nothing, but the whole event was caught on CCTV, and images of the embarrassing escapade were shared with the whole world by Okaloosa's County Sheriff's Office. 3 in a bed. In 2018, 3 British teenagers aged between 16 and 19 were jailed after an attempted burglary went hilariously wrong. After receiving reports that 4 teens had been acting suspiciously outside a house in Leighton Buzzard, England, police arrived on the scene.
Of course.
Entering the house, officers found the teenagers hiding in a bed, pretending to sleep. Officers may have tucked them in had it not been for the large amount of stolen jewelry hidden under the bedsheets with them. Despite being caught, the teenagers tried to double down on the lies and pretend that they didn't even know each other, despite being in the same bed, in someone else's house. Unsurprisingly.
Okay. Why would you fall asleep in the house that you're robbing? Second of all, how stupid do you think the police are? You're gonna know each other. You wouldn't be sleeping with a complete stranger like that, especially 2 other strangers.
Surprisingly, the police saw through their stories, and now, looking at their mugshots, you may think, I can't believe these smart-looking young men would be involved in such a thing. But it's true. Deputy Doorbell. Video doorbells are becoming an increasingly common safety feature in homes, allowing homeowners to easily see who approaches their door, even while out of the house. The doorbells are always on and always recording, something not all thieves seem to be aware of. One would-be thief in Fresno, California was captured attempting to steal 4 separate video doorbells in the same neighborhood on the same day. The level of stupidity on show was almost unbelievable. After all, he must have known what the doorbell camera's functions were in order to understand their value, and yet he seemed to somehow forget they'd be filming him when he went to nab them, as he didn't even cover his face. What's more, he couldn't even remove 3 of the 4 cameras, so he gained very little besides the embarrassment of being caught. Toy criminal. In 2016, police in Indio, California were on the hunt for a thief who climbed through the ceiling of a YMCA and stole money from a cash register. The whole thing was caught on CCTV, and his entrance was about as smooth as a sandpaper baby was.
What?
But it gets better. Unfortunately for the burglar, the cash register was a toy, and the cash inside was worthless play money. If the profit from a burglary reflects a thief's intelligence, I think it's fair to say this one earned about as much as he deserved. Hungry for punishment. In 2018, a phone thief's penchant for convenient snacks proved to be his downfall. The Chicago rookie criminal was easily located by police after he used his stolen phone to order Uber Eats to his doorstep. After stealing the phone at gunpoint, the thief used the victim's app to purchase food, despite how easily the police could trace his location. After all, the food was delivered to his own home. While I'm sure it would have been a great last meal of freedom, unfortunately for him, the police arrived before his food did. The Phantom Pooper. In 2017, a thief decided to relieve himself mid-burglary, using a toilet inside his unwitting victim's house. You'd have thought he'd have waited for a less tense environment, but I guess when you gotta go, you gotta go. As if a
Yeah.
burglary wasn't bad enough, the intruder didn't even have the courtesy to flush. Leaving his unpleasant surprise for the owner of the Ventura, California home, he escaped. But what he hadn't considered was that his parting gift harbored a wealth of his DNA, which police were easily able to match to the profile they already had for him on their database. They caught him, but he will always go down in history as Ventura's fecal phantom. Just remember, stupid people aren't annoying. They are free entertainment. I like to wear the shirt to let people know. Get one via the link on screen and in the description. Arriving in style. In Australia, one criminal made a bad situation even worse when he showed up to court on charges of car theft in a stolen car. Police officers in the nearby station spotted the parked car, recognizing it as one that had been stolen the week before. When the man emerged from the magistrate's court, having been charged for his initial car thievery, he was instantly arrested again, for the exact same reason.
Why would you steal a car and drive the car to the courthouse? You know there's gonna be police there. Like, oh, I'm losing fucking brain cells. I really am losing fucking brain cells.
Official binge business. A man barged into a Zaxby's fast food restaurant in Snellville, Georgia, and demanded free food. Why? Because he was an undercover FBI agent, of course. At least that's what he claimed. For him, there was no further explanation or proof necessary beyond showing the cashier an empty gun holster. This wasn't enough proof for the cashier, though, who called the police. When police arrived, the odd fellow continued to insist he was an FBI agent. After calling the FBI's Atlanta field office, the officers soon realized that the man had never worked for the FBI, to the surprise of, well, no one at all. Though I'll admit, it's one of the most creative ways I've seen someone attempt to get free food.
Yeah.
Keeping up appearances. An Australian fugitive's time on the run was cut short by vanity and stupidity in 2016 after she escaped from a correctional facility. Local police posted pictures of the fugitive on social media, asking the public to keep an eye out for her. But the fugitive herself found the photos to be subpar. In a moment of utter brilliance, she contacted the police department on Facebook to request that they use a more attractive photo than her mugshot, because God forbid she, a convicted criminal, look bad in the public eye.
Wait,
She even had
what?
the courtesy to provide a replacement. The police declined the offer, but they did, however, use her Facebook post and activity to track her down. Off without a hitch. When an escaped inmate tried to hitch a ride on a Kentucky highway in 2018, his hopes were high when a car slowed down to pick him up. Unfortunately for him, the car was being driven by an officer of the law. Well, technically, he was campus police, but he still knew something was amiss. After all, the inmate had handcuffs dangling off of one of his wrists. The prisoner had made a break for freedom during a routine transfer, and officers had lost track of him in the pursuit. He thought he was getting a ride, and while he did, it was back to prison.
Yeah.
Of the joke. When an emergency operator in Fresno, California answered a call, and their standard questions went unanswered, they were puzzled. The operator listened in to see if they could piece together the situation on the other end of the phone. Instead of an ongoing emergency, the operator overheard the two men discussing their plans for a drug deal. That wasn't bad enough. The men then continued to make plans to rob cars to fund their drug habits. It soon became clear that the callers had fallen victim to a seriously unfortunate butt dial, to precisely the last
Okay.
number they could have hoped to call.
in all honesty, I don't think police should be able to use that in a court of law because it's not like. Well, I guess I can see where they can because it's not like it's not considered entrapment because entrapment is when the cop uh, does something. But come on, you could have caught him a different way. They're a drug user. Let nature take its course. Let nature take its course.
The operator dispatched the police to their location, and the bumbling pair were arrested before they could do any damage. In another story
Mm,
of butt dials gone wrong, two men accidentally called.
exactly. I mean, yeah, it can be considered as attempted, but I could think of a couple of defenses for that. I could have said, well, it could have been for a fucking screenplay, could have been for a story that they were writing. So, yeah, it could have been done a lot differently. They could have at least followed the people, followed the defendants to the drug deal or something like that.
911 while discussing their plans to rob a barbecue restaurant in Kentucky. Their call included in-depth details about their plan and their identities. The 911 operator traced their call to the parking lot of the restaurant and sent officers to the scene. But not only was the criminal's conversation inadvertently shared directly with authorities, the local police chief was sat inside the restaurant they were targeting. Needless to say, he intercepted them in the parking lot, presumably after finishing his last rib. Though they
Okay.
weren't caught by the
Like
police,
that, that's okay.
clearly their worst punishment was being banned from the barbecue restaurant for life. A very special agent. And one of the strangest cases of 2019, an American woman found her way into the CIA headquarters multiple times over a 3-day period, seeking a rather unusual member of staff. Despite the fact she was technically trespassing on her repeated entries to the HQ, the matter at hand was clearly above the law. Each time she entered, she demanded to speak to Agent Penis. She insisted that she had been recruited to join the CIA by the uniquely named agent, but staff refused to believe her. Her repeated attempts to enter the secure building landed her in custody, and she was charged with a Class B misdemeanor. Little did they know, somewhere in a CIA back office, Agent Peter Enos sits waiting long and hard and patiently to this day for his new recruit, wondering what's taking her so long. Selfie slip-up. Technology caused the downfall of another dumb criminal in 2014. When the criminal ran off with expensive jewelry from a London jeweler's,
Okay, it seems like anymore social media is the biggest downfall for criminals. Criminals become more and more stupid each and every single day. They want to post their shit on Twitter, on fucking Facebook, and all that. Yeah,
he probably felt like a
not
master
gonna go
at the
there.
craft. But when police arrived, they noticed he'd left his mobile phone in his hasty exit, as well as his bag. As if it wasn't already easy enough for the police, he put a selfie as the lock screen. For someone who'd successfully stolen $300,000 worth of valuables before his capture, that was a jewel of a blunder. License and mastication. Drunk driving is about as stupid as it gets. But in
Yeah.
2018, one Canadian drunk driver somehow outdid himself when asked for his license and registration after being pulled over. In his inebriated confusion, instead of his license, he handed the arresting officer the hamburger he'd been chowing down on. In that state, it's amazing he even made it that far. Needless to say, the driver was promptly arrested and charged with intoxication and dangerous driving. Unluckily for him, the cops had already eaten. Hidden in plain sight. When a burglar attempted to enter a house through a back window before quickly disappearing, the terrified homeowners thought they had scared them off by loudly calling the police. But when police arrived to investigate, they realized the burglar was still in the yard. Bizarrely, though, rather than run off, the burglar had chosen to sit on a patio chair, perfectly still, attempting to hide in plain sight. Unfortunately for him, police officers aren't T-Rexes from Jurassic Park and don't require movement to see. Seeing as this is the real world, the lawn chair bandit was quickly spotted and arrested. Window of inopportunity. Last but definitely not least, this confounded criminal was quite literally caught in the act when his attempted burglary ended with him suspended upside down from a window.
Oh
After
God.
attempting to climb through a small open window in broad daylight, the burglar's pants became caught on the window frame and he was left dangling upside down for more than an hour. As a crowd gathered to ridicule the incompetent criminal, he tried to convince them that he'd gotten stuck while attempting to stop someone else from robbing the house. The hammer in his hand, which he'd used to smash the larger window in an attempt to escape after becoming trapped, suggested otherwise, though. Obviously, no one believed him, and being an English community, no one set him free either, leaving him hanging there until the police arrived. Were you as baffled as I was by the stupidity on show in these criminals? Which one surprised you the most? Better yet, have you ever witnessed a criminal fooled by their own stupidity? Let me know in the comment section below.
Okay, for what they asked, which is my favorite, I would have to say the fucking, the butt dial one. I would have to say that one, or the either the CIA one, Agent Penis. Okay, yeah. So I can't even rank these. My mind has literally just fried from seeing this crap. So, anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure to turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be notified as to when I upload next. Next week's video is going to be another reaction video, or it might be a gaming video. I get a double check. But anyways, make sure to stay tuned. And if you want to check out Be Amazed, the link will be down below. Like I said in the beginning, I absolutely love their content. So, and they have a lot of content for hours and hours of entertainment. So, until next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.